Well, a function is really boring if it doesn't actually do anything, so let's make this function do something. So I'm going to say let my num1 equal 10, and I'll say let my num2 equal 20, and then I'm going to say um, let result equal my num1 plus my num2, and now if we save that, then we can call this add two numbers function, and then we can alert result. All right, let's see what happens when we do that. So I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to reload the page. Nothing's happening. Why is that? So if I inspect this page and I go to the console tab, it said result is not defined. Weird, because result is defined right here. Well, in order to understand that, we have to talk a little bit about scope. So variables only live for a certain amount of time. When you create variables, they take up space on your computer. Your computer only has so much memory. You'll have to look at your computer to determine how much memory it has, but your computer only has so much memory. If you continue filling that memory with variables, eventually you will run out of space. And you'll notice we never delete a variable out of memory. So if you create a ton of variables, why isn't your computer crashing when it runs out of memory? Well, the answer to that question is the garbage collector. So the garbage collector goes through and it looks for variables that it knows that you cannot access anymore. So when you create a variable using let as the keyword, it creates the variable within the code block. So as long as it's within these curly braces, you can access that variable. As soon as it goes outside of those curly braces, you can no longer access that variable. So as long as I'm in here, I could alert result, but as soon as I come out here, I can't access result anymore because the garbage collector came along and looked at it and said, oh, you said I'm only going to use result in these curly braces. And so as soon as you're out of those curly braces, I'm going to go ahead and delete result. So it's going through and automatically cleaning up after you. It's wonderful. Um, but sometimes it can be frustrating when you want to access a variable and it's stuck somewhere else. Um, so if we want to access that results variable that we just created, then we need some way of getting it out of this function and back into our main program. Right now, I've shown you how to do some work. So you can add numbers. Basically, the doing work part just involves writing code that you've already learned between these curly braces. In the next video, I'll show you how to access the result of doing that work outside of those curly braces and in your main program.